We're at TVLine's Comic-Con suite with David Harbour from Stranger Things. Welcome.
Thank you.
Congratulations on your Emmy nomination.
Thank you very much.
What was that morning like?
I was asleep, and I was awoken by a frantic phone call from my manager. I didn't want to look at the nominations because a couple of days beforehand I had gone online and looked at the predictions from all the pundits about who was going to get nominated, and I was nowhere in any of those lists. And so I was like, all right, I won't pay attention to these because I do consider it such a privilege what I do, and I don't really care about the awards in that way, But I was like, it hurts, and so I slept in, and then I got a frantic call from my manager saying I'd been nominated. I say I don't care about awards, and in general I don't, but it feels very nice. I mean, it feels very nice and very gratifying to have your peers recognize your work in that way, and also to be among such incredible peers, of John Lithgow and Mandy Patinkin and Ron Cephas-Jones, Michael Kelly. I mean, these people I love them, so it's incredible.
How much did the success of this show catch you by surprise?
A complete surprise, the entire thing. In fact, leading up to the show, there was no advertisements.
I remember.
We thought they were sort of burying it a little bit, or we thought it would be a very niche show that some people would enjoy. When it came out, my Twitter started to blow up, and people started recognizing me on the street, and then there would be all these articles in BuzzFeed what Stranger Things character are you, and that's when you sort of know that you've hit a cultural nerve where people are starting to talk about it. But the fact that it was so organic, and the fact that it wasn't hyped in any way, and even the press didn't really care about it, and the fact that the people sort of had ownership of the show and kind of told their friends, and it felt like a movement. I mean, it really felt like an organic movement of we want to see more of this on television, and so it was very gratifying, and we were very proud of that.
How far into the second season are you?
We finished.
You're done?
Yeah,
okay.
We wrapped about 5 weeks ago.
Okay.
And so they're in post now, and it comes out October 27th.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's this thing called the sophomore slump on television.
Yeah.
Assure us that that's not going to happen with Stranger Things.
I can't, because I'm wildly neurotic about everything. I'm always trying to push. I will tell you that I was nervous going in terms of even before reading the script, saying to myself a little bit, why do we need a second season? It's a complete story. We do leave a couple cliffhangers, but I don't want to rehash the same thing. And there is something when you have a success where people just want you to come out and say mornings are coffee for contemplation and have the kids be cute. And I think all of us were like, we're not going to do that. So we're going to take a risk. And in that way, I do think that some fans, I in general think people will be pretty excited about it, but I do think some people will expect something and not get it. And so in my mind, that's very good. But for some people, they may want, the same thing, but we're not going to give them that. So literally upon reading the first script, the first 5 minutes of the first script, I realized that we opened up the world in a whole new way, and these characters could go in an entirely new direction and have new arcs and new places to go. And so I was like, okay, we can do this.
So there are a lot of new characters, a handful of new characters coming in. Which one are you most excited for viewers to meet?
That's a good question. I mean, they're all great, but I love Sean Astin's character, and especially how he relates to Hopper in this series is very interesting. And I also really I have a lot of stuff with Paul Reiser, and Paul's just a great presence, and he's so fun and funny, but also a real good actor. So both of those characters I interacted with a lot, and I love them both.
Lastly, I'm sure Netflix would love for this show to go on forever. It seems like ultimately it will be a creative decision about how far it goes on. What is your gut telling you?
I mean, not just my gut. I think we have very vocal creators who are telling us, and I agree with them, is that we have a complete story to tell. And in fact, going into the second season, we know exactly what story we want to tell, and we want to tell that story and then get out. We don't have an open-ended thing like Walking Dead or Game of Thrones where we'll continue to go on. There is an end to all these characters.
Is it season 2, the end?
I can't tell you anything about that.
Okay.
But I will tell you that we're going to give you something fun over the course of something, and then we're going to get out before we've worn out our welcome, I think. And that to me is exciting as well, because I want people to want more, and I want people to love the characters and even write their own fan fiction and make their own stories about them. But we have a specific story that we're gonna tell.